So, did you watch my DietBet video? I hope you did. And that's actually what brought you over here to this video about the secondary app that I have been using that has really helped me to lose 55 pounds so far and to keep it off. And I'm still on my way to a much healthier me, getting back to where I used to be a really long time ago. I hope that you did watch that and that's actually what brought you over here. If you just happened to catch the title list and wanted to check out what MyFitnessPal really is all about, please feel free to also go over and check out my DietBet video and see how the two together have really been helping me to reach my goals and to get me as far as I have come so far. So that's what you're here for, right? DietBet is not what you're here for. It's the MyFitnessPal app. I'm going to have to keep that straight. It's getting a little late here as I'm doing this, so I'm just going to apologize for that. So what is MyFitnessPal? Guys, I know that there is actually even more to this app than what I have discovered. What I have found though so far and what I'm absolutely loving, I'm going to go back and I'm going to say this. I said it in the DietBet video. I have done Weight Watchers. I have done it many times. The most recent time was actually a year ago. I did it for about 6 months. I lost 20 pounds total at that point. And after paying the monthly fees for 6 months, I thought if 20 pounds is all I've lost and I'm just not getting any more traction, I'm going to have to switch things up. I kept that 20 pounds off for the most part for the next 6 months or so. And, you know, gaining and losing the same 10 pounds. I never fully gained it all back. Thank goodness. But I got to the point where I was like, you know what? I got to do something else. So I did DietBet. The first month was a success. Signed up for another one. Realized I was floundering again. So I needed something else. And I said all of this over in the DietBet video too. But I wanted to reiterate, just in case you didn't catch that one, and mention that, guys, I know my nutrition. I know what serving sizes are. I can actually school a lot of people in a lot of that stuff, but somehow I have always struggled with applying it to my own life. That is exactly what MyFitnessPal has been doing for me. Now, it's got a lot of great blog articles and other stuff. They've got recipes on there. They've got workout stuff on there. I truly use it for the food tracking portion because I knew that when I did Weight Watchers, that was actually my favorite part, was access to the app. But what I also found with Weight Watchers is that their app was not enough for me. I needed that extra information. I loved the meetings, but the meetings, I actually got to a point where I couldn't make the meetings work anymore. So when I came across FitnessPal, now I'm going to tell you, turns out I had an account already. I apparently found this app like 7 years ago, maybe 5, I don't know. I just never used it because I didn't know what it was at the time. And maybe it wasn't what it is now. I don't know. Either way, now what I do know is that they've got a tracking system that's very similar to Weight Watchers, but it doesn't assign points and arbitrary extra numbers and stuff like that. What it actually does is helps you to break things down to different nutritional categories. Not just your calories, but it will break that down as far as how much you're taking in as far as carbohydrates, fats, proteins. You can break things down into macros. Now, I have heard macros thrown around a lot the last few years, especially as keto and some of this other stuff has become very popular. I've never understood it. Even when I started using MyFitnessPal, I still didn't get it. I'm like, great, I know macros now. But guys, the app actually taught me about it. There is a tutorial, kind of like a daily plan. I do the YouVersion Bible app where there's daily plans you can walk through and every day you do something different. Well, there's actually something similar on MyFitnessPal where I signed up for this plan that was free. It's just this little, like, for a week, each day you go through new tasks and it shows you a new part of the app and how to use it. So stuff that I previously wasn't even using, I was like, oh, well, that makes sense. And it broke it down for me. Their goal is to help you hit that nutritional goal, not just weight loss or anything like that, but it does help you based on your body composition and everything else they give you some recommended changes as far as like how many calories to take in a day. And you can actually account for calories burned. So if you start doing a lot of workouts and stuff and you wear a Fitbit, or you know how many calories you're burning somehow, you can enter that and you actually get that balance. So that's exactly what I started doing. I started tracking my food. Guys, I have said it time and time again in my yes.fit videos. I did not realize how much I wasn't moving until I started tracking my daily steps with a pedometer. I did not realize how much I was eating until I started tracking specific calories. Now, when I was doing Weight Watchers, you scan the food, it tells you how many points it's worth. It does not break it down for you what other things apply within that food. You know, what the fat content is, what the protein is, the total calorie intake. That's exactly what this app does. I'm getting more information, so I can look at food now and be like, ooh, okay, so I need to balance my fats and my proteins today. I know I'm going to have to be careful on that food, but I can pig out on this food as long as I stay within a calorie window. And that was one thing I actually struggled with Weight Watchers, is I couldn't carry it over because there were these arbitrary points that were being assigned to everything, and it didn't apply outside of the app or outside of their membership. So this is making a huge difference for me for that. Now, I have been using this app for several months now. I actually, guys, I hit a window for about a solid month where I quit tracking. It was too much work and I was in a bad mood and I wanted to justify things. So even doing DietBet, even tracking my foods, I still played the yo-yo game just a little bit. But I recognized it. And it's one of those things, I was able to snap myself out of it before I did too much damage. Now, I say too much, I gained like 5 pounds back and I've already lost it again. So, and in fact, I broke a plateau that I was completely stuck at, to the point where I started talking about all this more and more, and this app and what it's doing for me. And guys, I got Sean, my husband, to check it out too. And he was a little hesitant, and he downloaded the app and then he started scanning foods and he kind of went, oh. And then he's like, he got to a point where he was like, I'm just not even going to scan this food because I don't even want to acknowledge how much I'm eating. But guys, seriously, this is not an app that is intended for one gender or the other. It is run by Under Armour. If anything, if I had to assign an intention for it, I'd say it was meant for guys. But there's nothing that actually signifies that. But it is amazing because one thing, and I hope he doesn't mind me sharing this, I'm not going to divulge details or anything, but my husband, he works hard and he has done a lot of hard workouts. In fact, if anybody ever checks him out on Instagram, half of his photos are him dripping with sweat after a workout. But yet somehow, and he would get so frustrated, the scale just would not budge no matter how much work he put in. So he started scanning all this stuff. And then he started to realize how much he was consuming on a daily basis. And actually, had he not been doing those workouts, how much weight he likely would have been gaining. So it's been a real eye-opener for him too. Now, of course, he's probably going to hit his goal way before me. A, he's got less to lose, and B, he's a guy. It just tends to happen that way, and we can accept that. But it is amazing how easily it can do exactly that. It's got the option on there so you can scan the barcode of a food and it just automatically pulls it up. So you don't even have to enter anything. You can custom enter things. You can just do a search. Like if I'm just going to eat an apple, type in like a medium Fuji apple or just Fuji apple and it'll bring up different sizes. Is it a small one? Is it a medium one? Is it a humongous one? And it'll tell you the calorie counts. I don't know where all of them come from. Some of them seem a little out there. So you got to search through a few things. But this app has really given me that one extra tool that I really needed. So, guys, when I say find what works for you, I mean find what works for you. Don't just say, oh, well, this one thing is working or this one thing doesn't work. Guys, I'm combining 3 different things. I am using yes.fit to guarantee my movement and give me that motivation. I am using DietBet just as a reminder, like, hey, I have this goal. I should really be working towards hitting this goal by this certain date. But without MyFitnessPal, I don't know if I'd be meeting those goals, because I would still be tricking myself. Guys, I spent a lot of time fooling myself into thinking that, oh, it's not that bad. Oh, the single slice of banana bread. Guys, I never had a single slice of banana bread. I'd always have at least 2 slathered in butter. Homemade banana bread. It's healthy. It's good. Guys, turns out the recipe that I use, which by the way is the banana bread from allrecipes.com, is in their app. It's like 240 calories per slice. Per slice. And that doesn't count the butter. So there's so many things like that. You know, I have had a habit of dipping into the canister of M&Ms that are used for potty training our 3-year-old. And, you know, I finally looked at it and said, okay, how much is a serving size? And I broke out a measuring cup. And then I went, whew, okay, that's about half what I would normally grab on my way by 3 times a day. And then you start adding up like how many calories you're eating in that. And it's like, okay, this is a problem. So it's just a way to give you that one more extra tool. And maybe a combination of apps like this would be helpful for you. Maybe just one of these would be exactly what you need. Maybe one at a time. I don't know, guys. Everything works differently for everybody, but I know that if you set your mind to it, you can do it and you can succeed. Guys, 11 years, I have been seriously overweight. And for the first time in 11 years, I'm going to go ahead and say the first time in 11 years, I truly feel like I am, can, and will be successful. Now I hesitated there for a second because about 5 years ago, I did do an elimination diet through a functional medicine practitioner. And I did lose a chunk of weight. I still didn't break under that 250 mark though. In fact, I don't think I got down to 250 either. In fact, I'm really close to where I had gotten down to with them. And I felt good. I knew I felt good, and I knew I would continue to feel good as long as I stuck to this elimination diet. But it also wasn't realistic to stick to that diet forever, especially considering I had a week-long trip to Vegas coming up and plans to eat things. And then when I got back, I did not go back on that diet. It was so restrictive. I just didn't. And then I gained everything back. So that's part of yo-yoing, guys. We find these things and it may seem great and it may work for the moment, but you have to find the thing that works for you that is sustainable. Something that you can do no matter what you do, where you go, where you're at. Using these apps, as long as I've got internet, I can. But if I use them enough, like I'm already finding that I can look at certain foods and guesstimate about what the calorie count's going to be. And I'm finding I'm getting pretty good at that actually, as long as it's similar to something I typically eat. So I can travel, and if I don't have my phone, if my phone isn't fully charged or I don't actually have it on me for some reason, I will be able to look at food and be like, ooh, yeah, that's going to push me over for the day. Or you know what? I think this is going to be okay. And I can always enter it later and see if I was right or not. And if not, then I can gauge how much I've got left for the day to stay within my goal. And guys, some days there's exceptions. Some days I stay way under my goal. And then some days I go over a little bit. It happens. Just try not to make a habit of it. And I know that with the right tools in your tool belt, you can be successful too. And I really hope that I get to keep sharing some progress and stuff. I have not done any progress photos on Instagram or anything. I'm still really self-conscious about all of it. And while I'm seeing some definition that I am absolutely loving, I don't know if I'm seeing quite as much in my body itself. I know my pants are fitting differently and stuff, but if I don't see enough, I can't expect anybody else to see it either. So that'll be coming in the future though. And there will be some awesome photos when we get to that point. Anyhow, I really hope that by me sharing this information, it really helps someone, anyone, learn either about something new that they hadn't thought of before, or just helps give some of that motivation that you may have been looking for to start this journey, maybe for the first time, maybe to start it again. I don't know. Either way, I hope that you do find this useful, and if so, if you have any questions, comments, or anything like that, leave that in the comment section down below. In the meantime, I hope that you're having a blessed day. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss everything else coming up next. I'll see you in the next one.